A warm welcome to Joburg Today. I'm Zizi Paul. With transit being an issue in Joburg, Nashina speaks to MEC of Transport, Ismail Vadi.
The biggest challenges lie in Johannesburg, which is the economic hub of South Africa. Well, to discuss further how things will change over the course of the next 10 years or so, in the space of public transportation, I am joined by the MEC of Gauteng Roads and Transport, Ismail Vadi. Welcome to Joburg Tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you on the show.
My pleasure.
To begin with, let's go behind the inspiration of this master plan. I'm assuming that is based on certain elements in public transportation that's outdated.
I think we have an outdated public transportation system. Gauteng and Johannesburg in particular is a fast developing city. We have massive in-migration into our province and into the city. We estimate that our population doubles every 15 years. And that's putting huge pressure on all services, whether it's schools, clinics, etc. But in the area of public transport, we've lagged behind substantially in the last 20 years. And we're playing catch up now and beginning to invest quite a bit in terms of infrastructure and the development of an integrated public transportation system. And the key elements of that is really getting the rail as the backbone of the system. So to revitalize Metro Rail, because it's a 50-year-old system, we've got very old trains. The cabling system is completely outdated. It's based still on manual systems rather than modern technology. So we've got to revitalize or re-energize the whole Metro Rail system. But then there's the Gautrain. We've completed the first phase. I think that has been a huge success. I just saw the figures last night, 1.6 million people using the train now. So it's really picking up. We're looking at further expansion of the Gautrain. There's some planning work being done. And then the big thing is the bus rapid transit system, or the Via Vaya. I think people have, for the first time, experienced a bus system that is modern, that's clean, that's efficient. And takes you quickly to work. You're not stuck in the traffic like normal motorists are on the highways, etc. And it's also affordable.
Commuters, we're all the same. We hear about the wonderful plans, but we just want to see results. So over the next 5 years, what would be the significant changes in the space of public transportation that will really stand out?
Two things I think that we're pushing very strongly, and that is cycling in the province at large. And I know the city has really grabbed this particular baton and they're running with it. You will begin to see in Braamfontein that we are starting to have colored lanes dedicated for cycling because people feel unsafe. Mm-hmm. We really think for short distances, people should be cycling in this province. It's good for your health. It's good for the environment. There's no pollution. It's extremely cheap. It costs you nothing but your own energy, right? Fuel is becoming very expensive. Traffic congestion is becoming a bit of a problem for us. So people are spending productive time in cars when we should really be moving around very quickly. So if you look at just outside where your offices are at the moment, they are busy. The city is busy rolling out at the moment dedicated cycling lanes from the University of Johannesburg down to Auckland Park. That's the whole media, where all the media houses are, to Wits University, right through to Braamfontein. Young people, this is really an academic let's call it an academic link.
A lot of students here.
Yes. Yeah. They should be cycling to university.
I need to buy a bicycle.
They should be cycling to university. We should not be having a parking problem at UJ or at Wits.
Sure.
Many of the students who are living in the accommodation in and around Melville and Braamfontein, etc., they should be cycling to university. Yeah. We've got fantastic weather. We don't have snow. We don't have heavy rainfalls. And they should be walking. Mm-hmm.
How's it? This is Dominic Oliver, and you're watching Joburg Today.
Remember to join the conversation on our Facebook page, joburgtoday.tv. Follow us on Twitter @JoburgToday. And if you're on the move, then pockettv.mobi. That's pocket with an I. What is the impact of vandalism and theft in our city? We took a tour of the M1 and M2 to find out.
Vandalism is a problem, and it's costing the city millions. So I'm very happy about the partnership we have now formed with JRA, where officers will be working very closely on a 24-hour basis, 7 days a week. There's a special team of 9 officers which have been set up to do special patrols to focus on vandalism, to focus on the theft of cables, the theft of electrical lights, And just today, we have issued 2 fines of 1,500 Rand each to a contractor for operating contrary to the way leave specifications. We've also confiscated their tools along Main Reef Road. And on another occasion, we have arrested 2 criminals for digging up a wall next to Wema Pan, where they were busy stealing the electrical cable and also other parts which belongs to the city of Joburg.
They're even removing the girders that are supporting the signage over the freeways, and in some cases the signs have come down on motorists. So it's a safety issue and it's a financial issue. It's a scourge that's cost the city in the last financial year, which ended July 2013, 57 million Rand. We've actually embarked on a security campaign, which is very expensive, but it's the first indication that we're winning this war against vandalism.
Theft and vandalization around the city of Johannesburg is costing the Johannesburg Road Agency. This is another problem that the city is working on. I'm Mpoma Shego for Joburg Today.
Hi, I'm Fortune Shawalala and you're watching Joburg Today.
The James Hall Transport Museum is the largest transport museum in SA, showcasing the evolution of transport through time.
The James Hall Museum of Transport is the most comprehensive and largest of its kind in South Africa. The museum was formed in 1964. It was a partnership between a councillor called James Hall and the city of Johannesburg. It comprises of 6 sections. We've got animal transport, steam transport, emergency vehicles, bicycles, cars, and public transport that were used by the city. The oldest form of transport that we've got is called a sledge. When you look at the sledge, it's made out of wood and leather, and it doesn't have any wheels. It was pulled by animals like oxen, donkeys, mules, and sometimes horses. We can go to the motorcycles, bicycles, and others. The oldest one is the Butched, that is of 1903, and is the only one of its kind in the world that is still running. From there, the oldest car that we've got in the museum is called a Clement Pennant of 1900. Most attractive one is what we call the Model T Fords, because Model T Fords are the one of its kinds. They differ. We've got a school today, we've got a preschool that comes to the museum because schools have got a curriculum that they do transport. Our aim is to preserve and conserve the land history of the city of Johannesburg.
It is quite an amazing journey for one to go through the timeline and history of land transportation in South Africa, just seeing how it's transformed over time from the Cape carts to now the recent electric cars. I am Bitumelo Pelesa for Joburg Today.
Hey, I'm Santi Famark and you're watching Joburg Today.
Remember to check out our special focus section and the latest episode of Leading Opinion. That's it from me, Ziz. I leave you with Cornell Cruz or Tatalia.
Back in ETV.
I could never carry on without you close to me. Face another day all by myself, and the night would fall and last for an eternity. There would never ever be a rising sun. I would lose all hope and fall apart, nothing left more than a broken heart, and all that would remain a shattered dream. I could never carry on without you close to me. Couldn't face another day all by myself. I guess I ought to tell you how I'm really feeling before it might be too late. eyes, it must be heaven sent. Every time you smile, I know where I belong. And your soul so pure, your heart so full of happiness. And you move me in a way I've never known. You're my savior, you're my everything. You're my life, you're every song I sing. And without you I would surely fade away. I could never carry on without you close to me. Couldn't face another day all by myself. I guess I ought to tell you how I'm really feeling before it might be too late. I know, I know, I know, I ought to tell you I'm just as scared as you are, but we're in this together. I know, I know, I know, I never thought it'd come to this. I'm right here on my knees. I guess I ought to tell you how I'm really feeling before it might be too late. I know, I know, I know, I ought to tell you I'm just as scared as you are, but we're in this together. I know, I know, I know, I ought to tell you how I'm really feeling before it might be too late. I know, I know, I know.